Hi guys, this is Sharik and welcome back to Globetrot with Arabic. I just finished my lessons with my students on Zoom. So today was day 24 in our 30-day Lebanese Arabic challenge courses. It's going really, really fast. I can't believe it's day 24 already. But yeah, it always goes fast and I'm excited for the new one. So the new 30-day challenge courses are starting on August 23 and we finished September 21. So that's exactly 30 days of studying together on Zoom every single day. So it's very, very intensive courses and you can learn with a very, very good pace and a lot of details as well. So if you're interested in that, get in touch. My email address will be under this video. It's sharik@globetrotwitharabic.com. So today's lesson is going to be more like a discussion about some of the words, phrases we use, and they're not just words and phrases. They are more like things that represent our culture and habits and the things that we do. So let's begin. So these are not related, totally different words I'm going to be talking about. I just went over the notes that I sent to my students, and it so happened that we spoke about these things in some of my classes today. So I thought, okay, I'm going to share some of them with you. So let's begin. The first word we have here is say abit. Say abit. Say abit, if we want to break it down, it literally means kind of you're saying it coincided, but we use it to say like it so happened that something happened. It so happened. So say abit. Sometimes you can use it, of course, in the negative form. ما say abit. I give you some examples here. Let's see. So أي متى شفتي توم? أي متى شفتي توم? I'm talking, let's say, to my friend, a female friend, and I ask her, when did you see Tom? أي متى, when شفتي, you saw Tom? And she says, say abit. التقيت فيه. say abit. التقيت فيه. أنا ونازلة عالدكان. يلا, say it one more time with me. Because it's very, very important, guys, for you to say this, to write down your notes as well. So say abit, it so happened, but you're saying kind of it coincided. It so happened that I met him, التقيت فيه. I bumped into him. Say abit, التقيت فيه. It so happened. I bumped into him, التقيت فيه. أنا ونازلة عالدكان. أنا ونازلة while I was going down to the grocery shop. الدكان. Now, here I use the participle نازلة, and in the masculine form would be نازل. نازلة literally means the person who goes down, or like the goer down, but we use it to say going down as a verb. So it's playing the role of a verb, although it's not a verb, but it's playing the role of a verb. So أنا ونازلة على السوبرماركت while I was going down to the supermarket. And the wow the wow here, it doesn't mean and, it means while. When does the wow mean while? When it's followed by a pronoun. So here it's followed by أنا, as you can see. That's why it doesn't mean and, it means while. أنا ونازلة عالدكان while I was going down to the shop. So say abit, it so happened. That's what it means. Say abit. My pen suddenly stopped working now. 1 second. So say abit, it so happened. التقيت فيه. I bumped into him or I met him. Say abit. أنا ونازلة عالدكان. Guys, my pen is not working. It's okay. I'm going to be highlighting things, okay? I hope you can see things when I'm highlighting them. So say abit التقيت فيه. It so happened. I bumped into him. أنا ونازلة عالدكان while going down to the grocery shop. Okay? Now, ما say abit. When do we use ما say abit? It's a way to say like it didn't happen. It didn't, like it really just didn't happen. But you're saying it didn't coincide. So, for example, if somebody asks us and says, ليش ما زرتونا لما نزلتوا على بيروت? So notice here we're using a lot نزلتوا. Here I said, and here I said أنا ونازلة. We use a lot in Lebanon going up and down. نزلت, طلعت, أنا نازلة, أنا طالعة. Because maybe it comes from the fact that Lebanon is a mountainous country and we keep going up and down. But even if we're going to a place, we tend to say أنا نازلة or أنا طالعة. Okay? So, here, if somebody, going back to our question, ليش ما زرتونا؟ ليش ما زرتونا? Why didn't you visit us? ليش ما زرتونا لما نزلتوا على بيروت? When you went down to Beirut, when you plural went down to Beirut. ليش ما زرتونا? زرتوا is you visited in the plural, and زرتونا is you visited us. ليش ما زرتونا? Why didn't you visit us لما نزلتوا على بيروت? When you went down to Beirut. And then the other person can answer and say Merci abit. غير مرة. Merci abit. Like it didn't happen. It didn't coincide. We didn't have the chance to do it. It just didn't happen. You know, that's when you say, that's what you mean when you say Merci abit. And then غير مرة. The person can say غير مرة another time. Merci abit. غير مرة another time. So from there, Merci abit غير مرة, we come to the next phrase or sentence. We can say it in a different way. You can say غير مرة بتسائب. Here you're using the present tense and we use it in the feminine form. بتسائب. Literally you're saying as if another time she coincides, which means it coincides another time, which means I'm sure it will happen another time. غير مرة بتسائب. So it's an answer to someone, to say to someone like, okay, it didn't happen this time. It's okay. It will happen in the future. I'll see you in the future. I'm sure it's going to happen again. غير مرة بتسائب. It will happen another time. غير مرة بتسائب. So far we have سائبت, سائبت التقيت فيه, ما سائبت, it just didn't happen. Like we just didn't get the chance or something. And غير مرة بتسائب. Now, we use it to imply something else. كيف سائبت. And usually you mean to use it like, you know, either sarcastically or in a fun way, or sometimes to prove someone something, you know. Let me give you an example. For example, كيف سائبت إنه اثنيناتهم وصلوا مع بعض. كيف سائبت إنه اثنيناتهم وصلوا مع بعض. أكيد في شي بيناتهم. أكيد, of course. في شي, there's something. بيناتهم, between them. So كيف سائبت, you're literally saying, how did it coincide? As a way to say, oh, what a coincidence. When you're saying, oh, what a coincidence, here you're not saying really, oh, what a coincidence. You're saying it in a sarcastic way to say it was not a coincidence, if you see what I mean. كيف سائبت إنه, oh, what a coincidence that إنه اثنيناتهم means both of them. اثنيناتهم وصلوا, they arrived مع بعض, together. Oh, what a coincidence that both of them arrived together. أكيد في شي بيناتهم. For sure, في شي, there is something بيناتهم, between them. أكيد في شي بيناتهم. كيف سائبت إنه وصلوا مع بعض. Oh, what a coincidence that they arrived together. So that's how you use كيف سائبت. You're using it as a question. In English, maybe you say, what a coincidence. In Arabic, you're saying, oh, how it coincided that both of them arrived together. Okay? So this is everything related to سائبت, ما سائبت, بتسائب, and كيف سائبت. Let me check if anyone has a question, and I'm going to continue. If guys, you have any questions, just type them in the comment box below and I can answer them later on. Okay? I don't have my pen, I'm sorry. Suddenly it stopped working. I'm going to try one more time to see. No, it just doesn't want to work. You see, كيف سائبت. Here I really mean to say, oh, what a coincidence. كيف سائبت مش ماشي القلم أنا وعم بعلم. Like, I'm saying, oh, what a coincidence that the pen is not literally walking, which means it's not working. أنا وعم بعلم while I'm teaching. كيف سائبت. Okay, يلا. The next one. This one is something we can talk about endlessly. The word واجبات. واجبات in the singular is واجب بالمفرد. واجب. واجب يعني duty. واجبات يعني duties. But when we talk about the word واجبات, we don't only mean just duties, but it's almost always associated to social duties, the things that you have to do socially. For example, if somebody has a baby, you cannot just, yeah, call them and say congratulations. You have to go, you have to get them a gift, and their wajbet would be to offer you something, you know. Mghli is a type of sweet that they offer when a baby is born, or they have to give you the chocolates, they have to give you souvenirs. If, God forbid, somebody dies, you have to go and visit their family, that's wajbet. Really anything. If somebody gets engaged, you have to get them gifts and stuff. Of course, now things are changing culturally because of the crisis, sadly. But I'm sure when things hopefully one day improve, Lebanese people will go back to doing these things when they start affording it again. I really hope this happens. So that's wajbet. There's always something you have to do. Otherwise, it would be aib. Aib means like shameful. Aib. I'll try. Oh, now it's working. My fan is working. Okay. So aib. When you say aib, it's like it's shameful. You have to do it. لازم نعمل واجباتنا. لازم, we must. نعمل, we must do basically. نعمل is we do, and لازم نعمل, we must do. واجباتنا, we have to do our واجبات literally. Okay, as I said, always there's something we have to do, like towards older people, towards the family of the person who passed away, towards somebody who got married. Always something we have to do. لازم نعمل واجباتنا. واجبات. Okay, so الواجبات اللبنانية, like the Lebanese duties, socially speaking. Now, here I said, look, ولو واجباتنا. When do I use this? If somebody does something to me and I want to say, oh, merci كتير عن جد, شكرا, merci عن جد, thank you very much, and they want to say, oh, of course, no, don't even say thank you, it's my duty to help you, or something like that. They say ولو واجباتنا. واجباتنا, literally, the person is saying our duties, even if it's just one person saying it to you. It's not like the duty of many people, it's just the duty of one person he's saying, but he means to say, it's my duty, even if he's saying, oh, it's our duty, but he means it's my duty. ولو واجباتنا. And this ولو is really more like a filler word. It can mean two things. If I say to you ولو with an angry tone, like ولو, like what the hell, or what the F, okay? If, I don't know, if I'm driving and somebody suddenly threw something from the window, I say ولو. But if somebody says merci to me, or shukran, I say da ولو, like it's a way to say, like, how can you say that in a very kind way, which means don't mention it. So sometimes you can put it with other expressions too. So ولو واجباتنا, like ولو, how can you say that? It's our duty to help you or to do this to you. ولو واجباتنا. The next sentence that I put here is ما بيأفي واجباته. ما بيأفي. بيأفي is he skips. بيأفي. ما بيأفي is he doesn't skip. ما بيأفي واجباته. He doesn't skip his duties. واجباته. And in the feminine form is ما بتأفي. So ما بيأفي. You see, بيأفي. And in the feminine is ما بتأفي. ما بتأفي واجباتها. The a here is her duties. ما بتأفي واجباتها. ما بيأفي واجباته. He doesn't skip his duties. Or ما بتأفي واجباتها. She doesn't skip her duties. It's a way to say, you know, somebody who's always, you know, who always does his social duties. Like so when we say this, it's a way to say, like, he's a good person, he's a, I don't know, gentleman, he's, you know, a sociable person, or, you know, يعني he's doing the right thing, as if we're saying that's a good thing. He never skips his duties. Okay, and maybe I say this to someone, you know what, we have to visit him. لازم نزوره. هو ما بيقفي واجباته معنا. He never skips his duties with us معنا. So we have to do the same with him or with her. ما بتقفي واجباتها معنا. Okay? Actually, I just remembered something. Speaking of this, if somebody is always doing their duty with us, we say لازم نرد الواجب. لازم, we must, لازم نرد. We have to return. لازم نرد الواجبات. We have to return the duties. We have to do the same in return. نرد is we return or we exchange. لازم نرد like we have to do the same to them. لازم نرد الواجبات. We have to return the duties to them because they always do it to us. Okay? يلا, let's recap the words واجب and واجبات. So, لازم نعمل واجباتنا. يلا, say it with me, guys, okay? You can write them later on, but for now, say them with me. لازم if you're doing the Roman alphabet, it's fine. Read it in the Roman alphabet for now, but I really recommend you also learn the Arabic script. لازم نعمل واجباتنا. You can pronounce it نعمل or نعمل. It doesn't matter. It's the same. لازم نعمل واجباتنا. Or if somebody says merci أو شكرا, you say ولو واجباتنا. And then, if you want to say somebody is always doing their social duties, ما بيأفي واجباته. ما بيأفي واجباته or ما بتأفي واجباتها. And you can even say just ما بيأفي واجب in the singular. He never skips a duty. ما بيأفي واجب. You see, I removed the rest. Or ما بتأفي واجب. She never skips a duty in that case, which is also sayable. And then لازم نرد الواجب. We have to return the duties or duty. لازم نرد الواجب أو لازم نرد الواجبات in the plural. يلا, let me check if somebody has a question and we can move on. Okay, no questions. Let's move on. I'm gonna... It's a nice question, this one is شو كم ... عنا. And the ... here, you can fill it with a name, with anyone's name. So if I say thank you to someone, they will say to me, because my name is Sharik, they will say to me, شو كم شريك عنا. شو كم شريك عنا. It's a typical Lebanese way of answering, of replying, basically, to someone who says thank you to us. So I'm literally saying to the person, what? How many shariks do we have? It means there's not too many shariks in the world, which means you are very unique, which means, of course, I'm going to do this favor to you. You're important to me. But here we are saying to us, عنا. You see, even if I'm one person saying this expression, I say عنا. I don't say عندي. You can say شو كم شريك عندي. But usually we say it شو كم شريك عنا. It's a nice expression with like a, you know, like there, it's like it's not formal, it's kind, it's warm, you know. شو كم شريك عنا. Let's say, I don't know, John asks a favor from me and I did it and he said merci شريك عن جد, merci من كل قلبي. And I say to him, شو كم John عنا. How many Johns do we have? I can of course add this ولو. The ولو is always optional, but it also makes it nicer. ولو, like how can you say that? شو كم John عنا. How many Johns do we have? It's a way to say, again, like it's my duty to do it. Like, how many Johns do I have? It's you're unique, you're special, you deserve it, basically. كم John عنا. Okay, let me check again if anyone has a question. Okay, yeah, let's see, I'm gonna give you one more group of words and phrases, and they all are related to the word Assis. If we think of the word Assis, it literally means basis or foundation of something. But how do we use it in a fun way? Okay. First of all, I can use it as a question. Literally, على أي أساس? On what basis? على أي أساس? By the way, notice here when I'm putting the two E's in the Roman alphabet, I mean to pronounce it as a A sound, not E. I like to represent it like that. Different people represent it in different ways. على أي أساس? Literally, on what basis? But this one is just really, you're asking a person, on what basis are you doing something? For example, على أي أساس عم تعطيني أوامر? On what basis? بتعطيني is you give me, بتعطي is you give, and بتعطيني is you give me. عم بتعطيني is you are giving me. أوامر is the plural, جمع أمر. أمر means order and أوامر means order. أمر, أوامر. So on what basis are you giving me orders? على أي أساس عم تعطيني أوامر? I'm actually saying to the person, you don't have the right to give me orders. على أي أساس? On what basis? على أي أساس عم تعطيني أوامر؟ يلا say it with me guys. على أي أساس عم تعطيني أوامر? I mean to say, you don't have the right to give me orders. On what basis are you giving me orders? على أي أساس? And then I have another expression. You can say to someone على أساس أنت أحسن. So here على أساس, it doesn't translate as on what basis. It actually translates as if. على أساس أنت أحسن. As if you are better. I don't know, if somebody comes to me and gossips to me about someone, oh, this person did this person did that, la la, and I really think that person is worse, the person who's telling me is worse, I can tell them على أساس أنت أحسن, as if you are better. Or even when somebody blames me or says something bad to me, and I want to tell them, no, yeah, like, you know, I didn't do it, you are worse than that. I mean, I know we shouldn't blame people, but you know, just for the sake of the example, you can say to the person على أساس أنت أحسن يعني. Okay? على أساس أنت أحسن, or على أساس أنت أحسن, as if. So here على أي أساس, on what basis? على أساس, as if. And then when you ask it as a question, as half a question, you see that I put one exclamation mark and one question mark. And I'm gonna read it and look at hear the way we pronounce it. على أساس جايين لعنا. على أساس جايين لعنا. جايين literally means comers, the people who come. It's the plural form of جاي. It's the participle of verb to come, which means literally a person who comes or a comer. Here in the plural, جايين, comers. Of course, I don't mean to say جايين, comers. I mean to say you are coming or you were coming in this case. So when I say على أساس جايين لعنا, جايين لعنا, you were coming to ours. You see, it's used as you were coming, although it's you are the comers basically. جايين لعنا, at ours, لعنا. على أساس جايين لعنا, it's a way to say, literally you're saying, on the basis you were coming to ours. It has nothing to do on the basis with on the basis or anything like that. It's a way to say, like, weren't you supposed to come to ours? Why didn't you come, basically? So على أساس جايين لعنا. So you see, in English you are asking it as a question and you're saying, as a verb, you're saying, weren't you supposed to? In Arabic, that weren't you supposed to or aren't you supposed to translates as على أساس جايين لعنا. You were supposed to come to ours. That's how you're saying it, kind of. So على أساس جايين لعنا, when somebody says على أساس blah 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 blah, we understand it didn't happen, and the person is saying, like, why did it not happen? Okay, let me think of another example. For example, if I keep saying to my sister, oh, ما بحبه, I don't love him. ما بقى بحبه, I don't love him anymore. ما بقى رح احكي معه, I won't speak to him anymore, and all of that, okay? And then suddenly he calls me, and I melt, and I answer the phone, eh حبيبي, and whatever, yeah, my love. And I keep, my sister will look at me and will say, على أساس ما بتحبيه. Literally she's saying, on the basis you don't love him. It's a way to say, like, oh, aren't you you just said you don't love him, basically, like, aren't you supposed to not love him? How come you're doing this now? You see what I mean? So that's how it translates, like, weren't you supposed to, or how come? You have to be careful with the intonation here. So for example, when I say here without a question, على أساس أنت أحسن, you see there's no question here. There's no question. That's why it translates as if. But here, there's a question. على أساس جايين لعنا. So that's why it translates as, like, how come, or weren't you supposed to come over? You know, على أساس جايين لعنا. We were expecting you, you didn't come. And then أي أساس. Here, of course, there's the أي. That's why it's clear that it's on what basis. أي أساس. Literally, on what basis. I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me see if anyone has a question. How do you say baseless, like baseless accusations? I have to think about the word baseless. What does it mean? I would say maybe عالفاضي. عالفاضي, literally on. الفاضي. So I'm answering the question like, how do you say baseless accusations? عالفاضي. فاضي literally means empty. عالفاضي literally means on the empty, which means in the wrong place or for no reason. For no reason. Okay? يعني مثلا if I want to say to someone you're accusing me for no reason, I would say عم بتلوم. You're accusing. عم بتلوم plus ne. عم بتلومني. عم بتلومني على الفاضي. You're accusing me literally on the empty, which means for no reason, and maybe here it translates as in a baseless way. I hope I answered your question. I'm not sure if I answered it because I'm not 100%. It's the first time I hear the word baseless in English. Okay? Let me know if I answered your question. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly skim through what we said. I'm gonna read them slowly. Say them out loud with me. Later on, you can write them, type them in the chat box, in the chat box, so you show me that you did your homework as well. And if you have questions, of course, ask me. يلا. Say abit. Literally, it coincided. أي متى شفتي Tom? When did you see Tom? Say abit. It coincided, literally, which means it so happened, yeah? It so happened that I met him. التقيت فيه. Literally, I met in him, you're saying, which means I bumped into him, basically. التقيت فيه. أنا ونازلة. The wow here means while. أنا ونازلة while I was going down to الدكان. The to here means Although usually literally means on, but we don't mean to say on, we mean to. When I was going to the دكان, and دكان is the grocery shop. Say abit. It so happened. ما say abit, you're literally saying it didn't coincide, which means it didn't happen. يعني we never got the chance, but I'm sure it will happen another time. That's how you say it. ليش ما زرتونا? Why didn't you visit us لما نزلتوا على بيروت, when you went down to Beirut? And the other person can answer ما say abit, it didn't happen. Literally, that's how you can translate it. It didn't happen. غير مرة, another time. The person can also answer and say غير مرة بتسائب. Another time it coincides, which means it can happen another time. It's okay. It's a way to say we will always have another chance. غير مرة بتسائب. Now كيف سائبت? What a coincidence. That's what it means. What a coincidence. كيف سائبت? Sometimes we use it to mean otherwise. We mean to say it's not a coincidence, basically. For example, كيف سائبت إنه اثنيناتهم وصلوا مع بعض. What a coincidence that both of them arrived together. أكيد في شي بيناتهم. For sure there's something between them. Now, we come to the group of words with وجبات. Phrases with وجبات. لازم نعمل واجباتنا. We have to do our duties. Very much linked to Lebanese culture, as I explained. It's all about واجبات, social duties. ولو واجباتنا. When somebody says ولو واجباتنا, it's usually the reply to merci or thank you or shukran. Okay? It's a way to say, of course, it's my duty to help you. Like, you don't even have to say thank you. ولو واجباتنا. Or don't mention it, for example. It can translate as don't mention it. ما بيقفي واجباته. بيقفي is he skips. ما بيقفي واجباته. He doesn't skip his duties. He always does his duties, his social duties. Or in the feminine form, ما بتقفي واجباتها. She doesn't skip her duties. Again, if somebody says thank you or shukran, we can say as a question. We can reply with a question and say شو كم, insert name, عنا. So for example, if a person called Luis says thank you, I can say to him شو كم لويس عنا? How many Luises do we have? It's a way to say we don't have so many Luises and you are so unique and you deserve it, and don't even say thank you. شو كم لويس عنا? Or you can say ولو. You can add the ولو. ولو شو كم لويس عنا? Don't mention it. How many Luises do we have? Now we come back to the words with assis, literally basis or foundation. على أي أساس, literally on what basis. For example, we said على أي أساس, on what basis عم تعطيني أوامر, you're giving me orders. The next one is على أساس أنت أحسن. Here على أساس means as if you are better. And the last one was على أساس جايين لعنا. Look at my mess. على أساس جايين لعنا, literally on the basis you were coming to ours. It doesn't mean on the basis or anything like that. It's a way to say you were supposed to come. Why didn't you come? على أساس, like, wasn't that the plan basically? Okay, على أساس جايين لعنا. We're asking it as a question. Or I give the other example. على أساس ما بتحبيه. If I say to my sister, I don't love him, and suddenly I answer his call and I say, I love you and all of that, my sister will tell me, على أساس ما بتحبيه. Didn't you just say you don't love him? So in the sense like, oh, weren't you supposed to not love him? Or you've just said you don't love him, basically. Like, it's a way to say to someone, why are you contradicting yourself in a way as well? Okay? That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me check any other questions. You see, like now, Ron said thanks. I can say شو كم رون عنا, if I know Ron. And that's it. Hi Yusra. Thank you guys for watching. Yalla, if you watch this later on and you have questions, you can always ask them. And do your homework. Write everything down. Always very, very important to say things. And I can give you one idea. Always say things and record your voice and hear your voice. You can hear your mistakes. You can even correct yourself. You can do a comparison with the way you're saying things and the way I'm saying things, and try to imitate the way I'm saying it. Okay? Yalla, I hope you enjoyed it. I might see you tomorrow. Yalla, bye.